one. MDfashionco podcast. I've been looking forward to this one. This one is going to be fire with a big influencer, Black Swan. Black Swan, you've
Yo.
been through a lot in life, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Real quick, aka Spukus. My rap name is Spukus because we're talking about some of my traumas and my part. We're talking about jail in this one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I just wanted to put um put ode to my rap name because that's kind of like influenced
Yep.
like a lot of the reason how I got past like through a lot of this shit. It's kind of like not like a persona, but yeah, like another part of me, I guess. So I just wanted to
Yeah, I
big
totally
ode to that.
understand completely.
Shout out Spukus.
Yeah, shout out Spewkiss, and I'm going to tag you on the title of this video. So, what I'm really interested in, just as a person, I'm interested in prison. And the reason I'm interested in prison is because it kind of runs like a bestial part of society. It has its own society in there, right?
Yeah,
And a lot
especially
of
Canberra, because I'm going to touch on that too. Canberra is definitely separated from the rest of the prison systems, and I can explain why in a little
yeah.
bit.
Okay, so I think the best place to start. So we were talking to Spewkiss, and a lot of your music talks about like your life and stuff. So you guys definitely got to check that out. But right now, I want to start. So after you did what you did, you got convicted. So like, what happens, right? So are you just sitting at home waiting for them to come get you? So how does that work?
Nah, so I I got done to threats to kill a federal officer. By the way, that was
Okay.
my charges. I spent 6 months in prison for it and property damage. Um, Essentially, I didn't really know 100% I was gonna get locked or anything like that. I knew I was kind of in trouble for something because there's some weird shit going on. But the long story short, I was in a paranoid kind of delusion. My ex girlfriend cheated on me with a bud dealer, and I kind of like isolated myself in my house, and I was acting psychopathic. I was kind of like I was by myself. I was saying some crazy shit. I wasn't a TikToker yet. As everyone knows, yeah, Black Swan on TikTok. I wasn't a TikToker yet. I was in like kind of metal bands, and I was doing my rap shit, and I was kind of known. Like I was blowing up with the original Spewkiss album and that kind of thing. So I was kind of known on the internet. But long story short, I was kind of wilding out. I was like freaking out at my own house, and I like smashed my fence down. I called my landlord, kind of told him what was going on. Long story short, the popo were kind of like coming and going. I didn't really know what was about to happen. I was like about 2 days off the pot. I was having like really paranoia. I was on the wrong meds at the time and just not looking after my mental health. I had a long beard, long nails, was in a real fucked up headspace. Long story short, it kind of gets to what the fuck happened because otherwise, without context, it's kind of confusing. Um, I went to bed with like had a shower. I'm calming down. I kind of regulated myself somewhat. Went to bed with a with a knife in my hand. I was naked, and I woke up to all this noise in my backyard and lasers fucking floating around my room.
Wow.
And essentially, yeah, the SWAT team was there for me, kind of situation. When I got held for like maybe like 4 days or something like that in the watch house, and in this time I saw a judge, and then I was sent off, kind of
Okay.
situation.
I
Yeah,
I want to get into some specifics here. So we are in Australia. So if you go into bed with a knife, I'm assuming it's a kitchen knife.
yeah. It was a kitchen knife, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of lucky I didn't get shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they had lasers, and I'm not sure
Yeah, I was
what
naked.
weapons
That
they
was
had.
kind of only thing going for me too, because I kind of woke up in a shock, and I had it in my. Well, they had lasers from their guns, by the way. Like
Yeah.
they had automatic
So
guns.
what were they, like M4s or UMPs or something? Or
To be honest, I'm not 100. I think so. They look just like automatic
yeah,
fucking. They look
probably
scary as
M4s.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
I was kind of
absolutely.
like in some kind of psychosis or something, so it's like a bit iffy. But
By the way,
I
you
I remember
put
a
your
bigger
camera up?
one, and I remember a bunch of little kind of more subby looking ones. But either way, there's about 10 police officers in my yard. There was a bunch at the front door. I was surrounded pretty much because I was in a room on a mattress,
Yeah.
and there was like a big sliding like fucking glass door kind
Okay.
of situation. And like, yeah, they were kind of like talking to me through that, and the lasers were gone. They like pretty much told me to drop the knife and blah blah blah. And that, yeah,
Wow. Yeah. So okay. So if you don't mind, do you want to put your camera up? Because I can only really see like half. Yeah. If you want
Yeah,
to.
yeah. One
Yeah.
second,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. Up to you. All right. So they arrested you, I assume, and then you go to the court date
Yeah.
when.
They kind of kept holding me there, and I was like off my meds at the time. My meds got lost in translation or whatever the fuck, trying to get me to say stuff about other people, this, that, in the actual held. Because this is what I want to touch on as well. Canberra jail system, once you're hand over, the cops are no longer a part of anything. The only way, and this is what makes Canberra jail kind of separated. And like I've heard other jails are way crazy with violence and different things, but I will say there's a problem in Canberra. And now Spenion's made his Canberra video. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but now that Spenion's made that, people are kind of realizing how fucking intense this place is. But essentially, Canberra's under some kind of federal law and some kind of human rights law or some shit like that. It's some weird thing. But police have no involvement with the jail unless you write paperwork. So unless there's some kind of like someone kind of writing some kind of statement inside, there is no police intervention whatsoever. Police do not come, are not allowed to come, and it's kind of the POs. It's the POs that are in complete charge. So once they handed me over, that's kind of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to talk to them. It's going to be 6 months before I talk to like a police officer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So what I
So,
think
so,
what
so
you're
they
trying
were
to
holding
say.
me as long as possible to try to get whatever the fuck. And I was kind of, at the time, I was a bit more lad than I am now. I was a bit more
Yeah.
involved in other shit and blah, blah, blah.
So
And I try to
they were
press
trying
me
to
as
get you
much as
to
possible.
so they were
Pardon,
trying
bro?
to get you to snitch on other
Pretty
people, I would
much.
assume. Yeah.
And at the time, drugs weren't legal yet, like the decriminalization. And I was on some whack shit. They were trying to get a few pot dealers and shit like that.
Okay.
Pretty
Okay.
much. It was some whack motherfucking shit, and I didn't, yeah, and they were just holding me as long as possible, trying to, like, get whatever they could out of me, which didn't work, but it was hell. It was fucking hell. That was
Why
almost
was it
worse
hell?
than my jail experience. Oh, not worse, but it was pretty fucked up. They
Why?
wouldn't give me my meds.
Because
They
you
were
were
doing
being.
everything they could to fuck in my head. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
I
bro.
see. I see. So you were in a holding cell in the police station, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is like lockup, like the watch house, they call it.
Right, right. And then they would take you out and just question you, like offer
They'd kind of
food or
come.
something.
They'd come to me. Yeah, they'd come to the freaking cell kind of thing that I was in, and every now and then, yeah, they'd question me in like a room, and like when they took my fingerprints, all that kind of thing like that.
Wow.
They'd kind of like press me in between, but it's kind of like a cat and mouse thing. I just kept asking for my fucking meds over and over again. At the time, I was on Zoloft, so like
Right.
withdrawing off Zoloft was a hardcore situation, and they weren't really like kind of acting dumb with that. And like a doctor was meant to come, and this was meant to come, and that was in. It just kind of ended up me like, yeah, kind of like a bit delusional what the fuck was going on.
Wow, that's intense. So how long were
Yeah.
you there?
And before that, by the way, they sent me to the ward for a second, and they cleared me somehow, and I was not okay. I was
Okay.
like, dude, I had a massive beard. I have like long nails. I had long toenails. I was like fucking talking cryptic shit about the government and all sorts. I was like kind of a conspiracy theorist lad. Sorry, what did you say? How long was I there?
Yeah, how long were you there? I just want to get the chronology of it.
I spent about 6 months, just over 6 months.
Wait, so no, wait, 6 months in the cop shop.
Oh no, the cop shop. This was days. This is like four days
Okay,
or
all right,
something.
right. So you get arrested, they try and get information, they don't get information, so 4 days, right? And
About
then
5 days, yeah, something like that,
right,
like four
right.
nights.
And then where did you go
Because
from there?
this was almost 11 years ago, by the way.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and so where did you go from there? That's the interesting thing. So you go I guess you tried in a judge room, right? In
Yeah,
front of a
yeah.
judge.
I went to court. They took a few. The first time, it got like passed to another like They kind of saw me for a second. I didn't think they had enough on me, and then the next day or something, when I finally like left, yeah, I saw the judge, and they kind of like gave me my, yeah, they kind of
So
told me
how
what
was
was
that
going on.
experience? Like in the court,
Fucked up, bro.
yeah.
And because of the defendant thing, that was the whole thing. Cause I had a public lawyer given to me.
Mm,
And even talking to him like the whole time, is like, dude, this is your first charge. This is crazy. That was
yeah.
my first charge ever, by the way, and like it was on some whack shit. Like, yeah, like I said, threats to kill a federal officer, but it was a bit fucking iffy with all that. But
Yeah. That's a hardcore first charge to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were going through my Facebook. They found whatever the fuck they could, bro. They used shit from my Facebook Messenger. That's the
Yeah.
other big thing I want, like, why I'm doing this, and I'm kind of happy to talk about is watch what you say. Especially if
Absolutely.
you have BPD like me or something, and you say some dumb shit, that will be used against you. Like, it will definitely be used against you, and you can fucking lose your freedom over that really quickly.
Absolutely. And just to put this really quick, I talk to TikTokers, right? And people on Favorited app also. And they say, oh, MD, why didn't you just tell them to fuck off? Like, why didn't you say that you're going to do this, do this, do this? And I say, like, well, firstly, I don't want to put that energy out there. And two, I'm on a public platform. I'm not going to start mouthing off. And that's why I keep it really PG, right? Or G rated on TikTok Live, right? That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons. But also, I'm not really saying wild stuff anyway. But what you said is true, right? They can go through that Facebook Messenger stuff.
Well,
If you watch,
they got
yeah,
messages from that were kind of out of like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
literally,
yeah, of
they
course.
went through my whole messenger. They went through my rap music as well. That's the other crazy part about
Mm,
it. They didn't use any of that, but they definitely did use a bunch of my messenger. That's
yeah.
what kind of got me locked up in the first place. If I kind of like was working on my mental health like I do now, like this is half the reason I don't use Facebook Messenger
Mm,
anymore, or like many social platforms, or I try to like obviously I'm a TikToker, but even then, why I put boundaries up because yeah, what you say can definitely be used in the court of law, and it happened to me
absolutely.
personally. So like, yeah,
Yeah, no. And when I've
if
watched
you crash
corporate,
out at someone and say something stupid, yeah,
yeah,
you know, and in this case, it was aimed at the federal police kind of situation. So
and that's why I think on TikTok, if you really read the guidelines, just follow that, and I think you'll be all right? And
yeah.
I know if you're not a bad person, you'll be all right. It's only people that have like that underlying like darkness in them that are gonna say this wild stuff anyway. I'm not really gonna say stuff that's like,
Well, it's kind of like the
yeah,
Spotty thing too. It's kind of because I know Spotty personally. I love the dude. I think he's a real gentle soul. And
yeah,
similar. You know what I mean? He had a moment of fucking he had like a moment of psychos or whatever, and he said something really stupid that could have got him 10 years, and now everyone's kind of like, oh, he deserves it, he doesn't deserve it, whatever else. That's kind of like words rather than an actual,
yeah, absolutely. All
you
right,
know what I mean?
so
Like, so people
yeah,
got to watch out for that for real, and that's why this TikTok experience is weird for me, trying to deal with all the hate and like not react the same as I used to. And it's crazy hearing other people say the shit they say.
hmm.
And not being account
I
like
know
not
it's
being
insane.
accountable for it is
Yeah,
fucking trips me out. But
there was one guy going
I
crazy, and
do
I
live in a
reported
federal
him.
state though, so it's a bit different for me. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, yeah. So, all right. So you get so when the judge is reading out like how what you got, which was I think 6 months, right? How'd you feel?
Well,
What were the feelings
at that
like?
point, I wasn't sentenced yet.
Oh, okay.
Cause yeah, that's the thing. I like my sentencing kind of happened later, and then that's the other fucking crazy thing is like I didn't know how long I was gonna be there because I kept trying to go for bail, denying it, and my and my sentencing kept being pushed back. So I was
Okay.
just kind of rotting away in there. Like I had no idea, and I didn't know if my time served was gonna count or what the fuck was actually happening.
Wow.
No
So
one was really
yeah. So
telling
you
me
were
shit.
rotting
Like,
away in the jailhouse in the courtroom in the court place.
pardon?
Wait, like where were you waiting while the court was going through? Where were you waiting? You said you were rotting away.
Oh, so you go to remand. The first like 2 weeks here, you go to like remand and it kind of like isolates you, and then they try to place you somewhere.
Okay.
But what I mean is, I had no idea how long I would actually be there at that time,
Yeah, yeah. And that
and I
is
kept like my bail got denied and that kind of thing, and like I kept like, and then the next second, like the amount of times I went to court without like seeing anyone as well, that happened like 5 times. I
hmm.
get taken on the court bus, waking up and go, and then not be seen.
Wow. So you're just
Kind of
wandering
shit too.
around.
So it's kind of like I had no real clue what the fuck was going on at that point.
Yeah.
And I was
I
just
heard.
off the pot. I was a hardcore stoner at the time. I was taking other shit like Xanax, and again, like my Zoloft was kind of lost in the middle of this. So I was just in like some. I shouldn't have been in. I should have been in a damn ward, to be honest, because I was fucking not right. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had
And you
no
didn't
clue
have
what the
any of
fuck was
those
happening half the
substances
time.
at the time. You didn't have any of those substances, right? So you were going through withdrawals, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah, I was going for hardcore withdrawals. I will say the jail is like technically a human rights jail, so there was Eventually, it kind of caught up, and it was like decent like that. There was some doctors that, because for a second there, I thought I was going through psychosis. I was hearing a voice saying like that, like I'm gonna die, like Lucas, you're gonna die, and I thought I was losing. I'm like, dude, why am I even like, why am I not getting? They almost sent me to the psych kind of part of it, like the help part of it for a second, but they kind of explained to me it's like a bunch of trauma and a bunch of like the withdrawals, and I was all right. Eventually, I actually became really healthy in there, so there's like a lot of pluses about it. But yeah, I was withdrawing like crazy. And I was a
You know,
long term pothead. This is like 10 years of never like
yeah,
not having weed as well.
yeah.
So I was like,
Would you say that? Would you say you said it was healthy? I'm really glad you said that because taking people away from these substances sometimes is going to make them healthy, and that's one thing. Not to jump ahead, but I hear a lot of people when they go to prison, they lose weight. Right? They would be overweight. They go to prison and they lose weight because you don't get as
well, I
much food.
gained weight. In my
I
case,
know.
I
Yeah,
gained a
yeah.
lot of weight.
I know. Yeah.
'Cause I
We
was
can get to
skinny as
that.
fuck, bro. I was like 64 kilos or something.
Yeah.
And I left there like 90 kilos of muscle. And I
Yeah.
was a machine when I left.
I know
That was
you
only
said that.
6 months. That was literally 6 months. So that's crazy.
But
I
let's
just said
stay
it was
let's
six
stay
months.
focused. So you're in the sister, you don't know what's going to go on.
Yeah.
When do you find out?
When I found out, well,
Yeah.
to be honest, I didn't really find out till I was out 100% what the fuck was going on. Like until my sentencing.
Okay. So then the
I didn't
sentencing
fully
happens.
know what they were going to give me or what was going to happen. But they were saying because it was a federal charge and because it was against the federal police, I could have been there for like years.
Wow.
So I was kind
Before
of
even
unaware.
going
And
to
because
prison.
of all the, even on my first charge and shit, yeah, I was kind of unaware until I was actually sentenced what the fuck was going on. Because, yeah, I got out on my sentencing date. So I got out on bail on my sentencing date. So.
Oh, that's interesting.
But they just denied my bail the whole time. Again, I like if I told, I probably would have got out. But I
Wow.
kind of gave them information on this or that later on. It probably would have worked in my favor in that sense, but fuck that. But anyway, yeah. So I didn't know until my sentencing. I didn't actually know how long I was going to be there or what the fucking deal was. Like, yeah.
Right. So okay, so you were going from the courthouse from jail to the courthouse.
Yeah, that happened a lot too. Is that fucking saw driving you crazy too?
Nah,
Because I try to
it's
move.
up to you. Up to you. I don't know how you
Yeah,
could turn it off. You
yeah. I could. Can you shut the fuck? Yeah, it
It's
was.
fine.
It happened a lot where I would get taken early in the morning and kind of like go there and think that something was gonna happen or this or that, and like I didn't even see anyone, and I was just after a while, and my bail as well. Everyone said, "No, you'll get bail. It's your first charge." I blah blah blah. No, I didn't.
All right, all
I
right,
just
all right.
never
Let's.
got. I never
I'll,
got bail. It just kept getting denied. So like
okay.
that
I
was the
wanna stay
craziest thing because
focused.
usually, yeah, on that first kind of shit, and like you would get bail. Like, you'll
All
get
right.
bail and then have a suspended sentence kind of situation, or just in general be out waiting for your court date, and then you might go back in. But in my case, that's why I meant I was rotting away in there because like
Yeah.
I was
All right.
kind of
So
like unsure what the fuck was about to happen in general.
all right. So I wanna. So you went from the being held by the police to being held by the PO, right? Prison officer, right?
Yeah, and that's
What
kind of
was?
its own thing because at first, yeah, you go through like a process. You like kind of
Yeah.
log
What's
in,
that process?
so you like get there, and crazy enough, back then, um, all the way back then, the cigarettes were legal.
Yep.
And crazily enough, in Canberra, I don't think this was a thing anywhere else. I got no idea what the fuck was going on really when you think about it. But essentially, when you got there, one of the first things that happened, but besides having like the introduction and giving them my clothes and like changing into the fucking jail clothes and that kind of thing, the main thing that happened is they gave me a patch of White Ox.
Yeah.
And this kind of adds to the story later because they gave me a patch of White Ox and some papers. Essentially asked if I'm a smoker. I said yes, and they're like, "All right, do you want this White Ox? We'll take it. We'll take it from you later. We'll take the money later, but you can have it now." Kind of thing. I'm like, "What the fuck? All right, like, sweet." And then that was one of the first things that happened, and they gave me a fucking pouch of White Ox and some papers, but no lighter. And then I ended up in Romand, and when you first go to Romand, you kind of get like segregated almost, like you don't mingle, and they kind of like sort you out to wherever you're gonna go or whatever's happening. But so I spent longer than I was meant to in fucking Segro as well. Like in the so essentially, I was like talking to people through the doors. So I had a fair idea what was going on. I knew a few people on the other side, like on the other side of the door. Essentially, like I knew a few people in there, and I was in with this dude that was from fuck, where was he from? Like East Timor or something like that. And he was there on the stupidest thing, and he was like freaking out. He thought I was gonna hurt him or something, and it was like a weird situation. But I had to like, yeah, speak through the door to kind of get anything I needed and shit through, like, you know what I mean? Like it was fucking weird, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
got
okay,
held.
I want to say focus. So you arrive. They ask if you're a smoker. What if you said no? They wouldn't have given you white ox, which is cigarettes or tobacco. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
which I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, it was as a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because like, what I didn't realize is like, as currency, well, like, obviously I realized that, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize how hard it would be even to like survive without a fucking lighter. They have these things in jail where you could like, there's like a metal, like a little metal lighter thing, but most of them are busted.
Hmm.
I think the inmates might do it on part. Like, I don't know. Like, well, obviously they don't have them anymore, but not having a lighter became a problem. But yeah, like the guy I was with, he didn't take the power. So he was from another country, and he wasn't getting, because in jail the other thing is you get your Centrelink, but it gets taken all the way down to maybe like $10 a fucking fortnight or something. You like your Centrelink gets
Okay.
taxed. You get about $10 or $12 or something out of it, so you can't even like afford shit anyway, kind of thing. And him not having that because he wasn't an Australian citizen, he was pretty much like he had no leverage whatsoever.
Hmm. I see.
So
I
like
see.
he would have
Okay.
been in the worst because it was good in a way, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
had
I
something.
want to focus on this because I find this really really interesting. So when money is taken out of a social society, right? When there's no money, there's no factor, right? So if you wanted something from a guy, could you give him $10 or not? So say a
Later
guy,
on, there was ways where your friends could like or your family could wire someone or this that, but it's rare.
yeah, it's rare.
It's
Mainly, yeah,
mostly like bartering, and specifically at the time, yeah, your White Ox or your fucking Meds or your like. In my case as well, I quit caffeine because
yeah,
that was a huge leverage not to be drinking caffeine and trading your coffee packs. Like
yeah. I see.
that was a
I see.
huge leverage. That was almost more than the fucking tobacco
So
sometimes.
I got a question. I got a question though. First question is
So
why
I
do they
straight up
even?
quit caffeine as well. That's the other thing that helped me in there. And I had a
Yeah.
little bit of my music money coming in and shit at the time because I just dropped an album, not heaps or anything, but enough to like. But yeah, sorry, bro.
So what were you using the money to buy? So any money that you got from Centrelink or from the music, you could buy that on commissary. I'm assuming there's like
It's
a
called
shop in
buy
there.
up. It happens every Friday. Like happens on Friday before Friday. You'll get like a little fucking sheet and you'll write what you want. So it's not
Okay.
like you go to the and I can explain the other shop in a second, but essentially, which is out of a cell. But essentially, buy up happens every week. If you don't have money, you're fucked. So like
Hmm.
the money you get from Centrelink, it's not enough to buy anything anyway. To
Okay.
be honest, the money you get from Centrelink, everyone automatically uses it on the phone. Because if you don't
Right.
call anyone on, you have no money anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like you have no way to like communicate. They give you emails, and to be honest, I use this as a strategy. I actually avoided getting my email connected whatsoever the whole time because I saw everyone else crash out over that and
Hmm.
violent shit was happening. People were like unregulated over emailing their, a chick or their fucking family and shit like that. So I
Hmm.
actually avoided the email system the whole time. But yeah, in my case and a lot of other cases, the first thing you're gonna do is put the money on your phone.
Wow.
You're gonna
Okay.
put that
So
$10 or $12 or whatever the fuck it is that they give you on the phone. It's gone pretty quick as well. So
right.
there is nothing left for food on buy up. You kind of have to just deal with whatever you have. In my case, I had a few friends and shit like that supporting me
Okay.
in
So
there.
you in prison you get if you have no money you get 3 meals I assume every single day.
Yeah,
What other food do you get or is that it?
that's pretty much it. You get like breakfast packs, and then you get like a lunch kind of situation. It's usually like a stale Devon sandwich, and
Okay.
then you get like dinner kind of shit and dessert.
All right. So then you were putting on weight though, and you told me on live that you were eating peanut butter sandwiches. So where were you getting the bread?
Heaps,
Where were you
heaps.
getting
Yeah,
the
I was
peanut butter?
fucking cooking up crazy. I was eating a lot.
But where were you getting that food?
I was bartering it, and like everyone kind of knew what I wanted. I wanted Sultana brand, and I
Okay.
wanted bread packs, and sometimes extra meals and shit. People coming to me, but again, like that's the other reason. And I had friends in there for like I knew because I'm just lucky. I grew up in a place called Stewart Flats and a place called Red Hill Flats in Canberra, which are like notorious areas. And in jail, specifically in Canberra, it's mostly not all, and there's different yards to different kind of gang, different, there's like bike yards and different kind of things in general. There's even a yard that most of the kind of artsy nays were in, that kind of shit, but there's kind of like separated in that sense. But overall, the Kooris kind of run that shit. Like the Aboriginals kind of run,
Like
well, where I
in the
work, they kind
prison?
of
In the
run
prison?
everything. And because I'm from an area that's like known, I'm just knew the right people,
Okay.
and not
Okay.
even just Aboriginal, but I knew a few. I knew a few families in this that, and a few friends that I already knew.
So
But
they would. Okay. So they would
so I
give
was
you
just
bread.
lucky as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was bartering and shit too. But even if I was to barter, if I didn't have kind of connections at all, I would have just got my shit stolen in
Yeah.
the first place. Like they would have been like, "Yeah, I'll trade you this for that," and just fucking taken everything anyway. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
They'll
saying? So
just
like,
take it and then
the
just say you
bartering
get
thing
a cut.
doesn't work for everyone as well. You kind of have to. That's a big thing. If I wasn't from Canberra and I didn't grow up in Canberra and I didn't know anyone in Canberra, I would have been fucking dead. Like I would have not dead, but well, maybe. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I
Okay. So
will
I
say
find that really interesting.
other cities are more violent than Canberra, but Canberra has a specific politics that happens, and it is kind of like a bit more snaky compared to other jails that I've heard. But I will say, like being somewhere like Sydney or Goulburn or Long Bay or Silverwater or Goulburn, that is more like of a threat to your actual life. Here, it was just a mental fucking warfare kind of situation because everyone's kind of in the same boat in a sense. Because like
Yeah.
the like again, the police aren't involved. It's kind of separated the dirty screws and like
Wait. So I want to stay focused on this barter system. So you said if you didn't have connections, even if you had, say, a bunch of coffee packets, right, and that's currency in there, right? If you didn't have connections, you'd go up to someone and say, okay, I want a loaf of bread. I got three coffee packets or whatever. Yeah. If you didn't have
yeah.
that connection, they would have just said, okay, give me the coffee packets. You ain't getting no bread.
Yeah. And buy a loaf of bread. These are bread packs. They come with like two sets of bread and some butter and there's
Okay.
no Vegemite in there because you can make moonshine. Like you can make moonshine from it.
Because from the yeast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like jam,
All right. Wait.
like
So
jam
okay.
and
So
peanut butter. Like you eventually, well, you don't. You gotta buy peanut butter later, but yeah.
So what I'm saying, what I'm hearing from this is, because if they take your coffee packets, you can't just go to the PO and say, "Hey, he took my coffee packets," right? Because no one cares. Is that right?
Yeah, and as well, if you're seen talking in the PO like that, yeah, you're just gonna be marked again. Like, you know
Okay.
what I
So
mean?
so,
Like,
so
if you fucking
what you're
go and
saying
tell
is,
her something like that, or like, you technically could, um, because again, like what I was saying before, like the different things can happen if you do right paperwork or some shit like that. But it's kind of like everyone kind of knows better. It's kind of like again, it's kind of like the rule of the land. Whoever you're in a yard with, and whoever's controlling the shop kind of controls the whole situation. Because what I will say as well, which we, like you probably don't know about, but there's the whole system is also reliant on having a shop, and some yards have multiple shops. But what a shop is the main dudes in the yard are kind of band together usually, and they usually run a shop from well, they like run a shop from their cell. And what
okay.
will happen is you'll just say you just want chocolate that day, right? Because again, buy up only happens one day a week. So just say you want fucking this or that. You'll rock up at the shop and be like, look, can I have this or that? And then they'll write you down and then you pay interest on buy up day. And if you don't pay it, it becomes dangerous. Like real fucking dangerous. There's
And
people
you're
that
paying them
were
in money.
borrowing and then leaving yards and shit like that. It was crazy. Like people would try to get away with it and all sorts of shit. And then people on the outside would be notified and like you wouldn't be able to run anywhere, especially in a place like Canberra. It's pretty small. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. So you go to the shop and then you pay with money. So they're running a
No,
shop
no,
out
no.
of.
Again, this is all barter. So essentially, you're paying with your buy-up. So just say I bought like a pouch of White Ox because they would have shit like White Ox papers, cereal, cordial. They would have the main things everyone wants, right?
Right, right.
And I would write down what I want or whatever. Like I would look at what I want and be like, look, this is what I want, and they'll be like, yeah, this is what interest you pay. So you buy the thing back and interest. And
Oh,
because
I
I have
see.
friends and shit like that, in a few situations that happened, I got less interest and it worked out in my favor. And a few times no interest, but like that's kind of how it works. So like you, so your buy up, right? So once you get all your shit on the Friday,
Right.
the shop's usually like standing there near you, or like in general, you go straight to them first before you eat anything or do anything. You're paying back your debt. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
Wow. Yeah.
most
Okay.
people, that's how we survive. Like that's kind of the main law of the land of how it kind of works. Is like most people, because the buy up situation was so it only happened a certain like once a week or whatever.
So
So
what I
like
find
any time
interesting,
in between that, you would essentially be bartering with you know
just random
someone in
people.
there, like from their cell kind of thing, and not like this is an interest system is the best way. It's not even bartering at that point. It's an interest system. You pay back what you borrow plus what. And some people, if they're not like, they get taxed through the fucking like you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
instead of like buying them, so usually they'll replenish their stock. So they'll be like, all right, you owe me a White Ox and a cordial and a chips or whatever the fuck. They'll like go through what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll
Right.
kind of
Right.
like restock through that system.
Okay. I see. I see. So
You haven't heard about any of this before?
no, I never heard about it because all I know is that in prisons, cigarettes are the currency, and it's a barter
Not
system.
now. Not now. Now it's
Okay.
like boop and shit like that.
Boop.
And
What's
I've
boop?
heard cigarettes go for crazy amounts. I've heard certain people at the moment say that cigarettes and others, especially cigarettes, it goes for like crazy amounts, bro. Like crazy amounts. And motherfuckers will pay it. And I guess this way, because it's like he couldn't even pay off that debt through buy up or something, this is going through accounts and shit off like outside or whatever's going on. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now that cigarettes aren't a barter thing, I can only imagine what people are trading with fucking it could be any you know what I mean? It
Well,
could
I
just
think
be
naturally, from what I heard in American prisons,
so
they
the
use
coffees are
sardine
probably
cans.
worth so much more now.
Okay. But people use sardine cans, I heard. Like, or cans of tuna or something.
Yeah, a lot of those that kind of shit. I did see cans here and there, but like, and on Christmas they gave us can like
Yeah, yeah. But I assume a tin
cans
can
of
is
Coke and
dangerous.
shit. I saw the dude make a tattoo, like tattoo ink from it. I was in the cell
Yeah.
while he's making tattoo ink from a can. But a lot of the time, because that's a sharp and shit, like they try to take a lot of that shit out. Like there's sometimes there's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
tuna
yeah.
pouches and shit. But the buy up list is pretty stingent. Like it's pretty small list of shit.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
like you can just get whatever the fuck you want kind of thing. It's whatever's on the sheet.
All right.
And that could
So,
change around. One thing I will say that's kind of cool, if the thing was on sale and some people will have intel because they only bought from one place. And
yeah.
which at this time was Ainsley fucking IGA or whatever, which is like a rough kind of area. And that's where Ainsley Lodge and Ainsley Village, which is fucking a whole nother fucking beast. But anyway, when something was on sale, they would actually deduct it because like they could have just not done that.
What do you
So
mean by
just say you
deducted?
bought bananas and the bananas were only $1. Those like candy bananas or some shit, and they were only like 80 cents. Like
Yeah.
you only paid 80 cents. Like it would come up in your receipt.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool in a
Okay.
way because they could have just not done that. They could have had like a set price
Hmm. Yeah. So,
because that really counted. All that shit counted for your phone money and shit like that.
right. So, I wonder like what exercises were you doing? So you put on weight. So you'd go into the yard every day. So you'd wake up, you'd go
So
into the
not
yard. Like
not
what
the
would that look
first
like?
for the first like month or two, I was kind of going for a bit of a mental fucking crisis. Started making friendships in there. I was going to church and shit like that. I was doing all of the fucking programs I possibly could. Going to the library as well was a big one. I was like walking a lot, like just pacing,
Yeah.
like doing laps essentially. That's a big thing in there. Most people are doing laps. Like no joke. Like most people that want to keep their mind intact at all are doing laps.
Yeah.
But my training started maybe like about 2 months in when I was kind of like consolidated as had like the boys and like I kind of had my like foot in the because I was like mingling a lot. There's people that kind of stay in their cells and just watch TV and kind of avoid the mix kind of thing,
Mm.
like
The
avoid everyone.
politics.
But I was kind of like active a lot playing volleyball. That's another thing that got me fucking fit. Like in between all of this, yeah, shit like volleyball. They didn't take us out often because a lot of the yard I was in was like real problematic, so they're kind of fucking with us a little bit. But when they did with like playing football, this and that, but I was training a lot. I was like at first I was kind of weak. My arms were small. I wasn't really like doing much weight. I was trying. I was doing pull ups, all that kind of thing, trying. But until I got my weight on, and then I just fucking catapulted. I
Yeah,
just
wait.
like
So let's see what is a workout regimen like? Because you said you do a pull up, so you're doing pull up
so it's
bars on
tons
what?
of pull ups, tons of burpees, tons
What
of
were you
like
doing
weight
them on?
training and shit. Like they had like a one of those gym things that's all connected. Like they connect all the shit on there, so you can't just take off a weight and try to get someone. But you know what I mean? But even with the burpees, like they made inmates would make because like people are crafty in there, bro. They'd make
Yeah.
like a fucking lift from like a massive water bottle,
Hmm.
shit like that. You know what I mean? But you don't have like dumbbells and shit like that because you can just like kind of throw it at someone's head.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, and I've
Yeah,
also seen they'll like sit on someone else, right, when they're doing push-ups to add resistance to the push-ups and
yeah,
things.
yeah.
That's
Even
what I
just using push-ups with like boxing gloves and just people get creative on different ways to like make the
yeah.
workout better kind of thing. But you just do sets like anywhere, but burpees were a massive thing of it. The
Would you
pull
work
up
out every
bar as
day?
well. And again, uh, if you didn't know anyone or you weren't respected and shit, getting on the actual lift machine, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's the other thing. For a while there, that's why I wasn't training. It's like these, like, you know, you kind of have to own your spot.
Wow.
And the gnarliest motherfuckers are using that lift machine. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
they have
wow.
to kind of let you on that shit. Like the
Mm.
last thing they want is some random dude sweat or this or that or like them to have your time or anything like that. They want to be caught. They want to like, kind of rule the yard. So that's another thing. If you're in the wrong yard with people that are already savages and you're kind of like trying to work out to get up the ladder, yeah, they're not gonna like let you do that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
so in that case, you're gonna have to do some burpees, right? You're gonna have to work out without using weights, right? You're
yeah,
gonna
here
have
and
to
there.
use
Like until
calisthenics.
later when was like privileged to just do whatever the fuck. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the burpee. But even then, right, the burpees or using any kind of thing, even the water bottle that was there, like that's kind of hot commodity. Just this massive 10 liter fucking whatever it was, 10-20 liter water
Wow.
bottle that was kind of full of shit. You know what I mean? Like even shit like that's kind of hot commodity.
When I was working my job, I'll tell you this. I was working a job. I was moving around product. We'll just say, and like big bags of rice. I would do curls with that, right? Because I
Yeah,
would, yeah, yeah. Like, but that was my job. But I'm just saying, like, I would do curls with that. But mainly, most of my life, I've just been doing calisthenics and stuff. So, yeah, I find that really interesting. And the
the
guys who
easiest
are
thing
get
to get on was like the cardio bike.
oh, they were the easiest.
That was probably the thing of people using the least.
Yeah.
Like
Do you
for
know why?
ages there, I was just kind of like putting by on that thing, and then like like again, I'd still get on the certain times, but at the beginning, you don't really want to end up in like a gnarly fucking fight over something stupid like that. So you just have to kind of like wait till someone feel me. Like you kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
have to
yeah.
just feel out the kind of read the room with that shit, but. Shit like the cardio bike, people care less because everyone's doing laps or anyway and shit like that. And the pull up bars look
You
is a
know,
good
this
one.
makes me this makes me feel so like grateful that I'm not in there. I can work out at any time I want. Literally any time I want. I don't have to
Yeah.
like the weights haven't been monopolized. So in
Yeah,
theory, I
well,
should
even
be
all
in
that
better
shit,
shape.
right? Like people don't really want someone else to get kind of stronger, and I guess it's different yard to yard and shit like that. But
Yeah.
and and as well, the like there is a big flex if you got fucking muscles and shit like you know what I'm saying? Like
I
it's
think
kind of
less
a
people
big
are gonna fuck with you.
yeah.
Is that
So
is
it's
that the
like,
case?
even when I rocked up the first time, when I rocked up to my yard, I was like, holy fuck, like this cunt's fucking pushing.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is like the movies, then some. Like these cunts are fucking. How the fuck are they even eating
I
like
know.
that?
I
Like
know,
they
and
were
that's.
fucking bulging kind of thing. I thought half of them were on roids for a
You think
second, bro.
they were getting roids in there or impossible?
Here and then, nah, nothing's impossible, bro. I don't know
Wow.
if it's different now. I think a lot's changed and shit like that. Like from what I've heard, but there was dudes. There's dudes with phones. There's dudes with porn. There's dudes with everything, bro.
Wow.
I had a fucking flash drive and shit with fucking drill music on it.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that got me through. Weirdly enough, it was like the rise of drill rap when I came. It's like when drill rap just dropped,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like in my head, I was like a lad, like real fucking in that kind of mindset. So that's kind of. But nah, I don't know personally. I didn't see anyone or anything like that, but there's definitely some people that would have had to be in it. Like nothing was ruled out.
Yeah. Wow. But you
I
said
reckon anything could have been.
I
But
remember on
that,
live.
but again, I think they've changed the system that much, especially in Canberra. Like, but again, I've heard in other jail, like in places like Sydney and shit, there's definitely dudes juiced up or whatever. But I can only talk from what I know. But I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it. I
So
just
how
saw
did?
people bulking up on whatever they could get.
Yeah. So you were talking about we're talking about the physical, but there's three sides to health. There's mental, physical, and spiritual, right? And
Yeah.
so physically, we understand how you'd stay fit, right? But mentally and spiritually, right? How did you stay sane? So you said drill music kept you sane.
Weirdly enough, the drill music like kept some weird fire in my belly and was
Yeah.
like a kind of unity as well to everyone. I guess rap music and the hardcore kind of rap music. Weirdly enough, kind of
Yeah.
like everyone's blasting, it kind of keeps the peace at all. Just music in general.
Hmm.
Um, the chaplains and like church and shit like that. The fucking just any kind of educational shit in general. Even when we were in the education room, most of us in like high school, we're all fucking around with like fucking MS Paint
Yeah.
and like making our little tags and a little. Because I remember just tagging Spukiss on everything back in there and like even on the computers and shit. Like me and my homie that passed away. Shouts out like Sin Sinner, fucking AK Lindsay, rest in peace, brother. But me and him were just making like a kind of mock cover art on fucking MS Paint. We're at fucking when we're at like education and library. Library was a massive one. Then you had people fucking up with everything like usual. Like cunts would like get like all the manga books and stuff and start cutting out all the boobies and like
Yeah.
they would start having that less and shit like that. Like everyone would fuck with everything constantly, but
All right. Well, look, we can do another episode anytime because I'm happy to. I love the conversation. I just want to end. I want to wrap it up with just saying, do you think that you came out a better person from jail than when you went in?
yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword, right? I came out a
Yeah.
better person. I came out healthy too.
Yeah.
By the way, I
Exactly.
came in there really unhealthy. I had long fucking beard, long nails, long like just mentally fucking degraded. Didn't really have a purpose in life whatsoever. I
Yeah.
came out like 90 kilos of muscle,
Yeah.
looking healthy as fuck. And like
Yeah.
literally, my mind was like a whole different thing. But I will say, and straight after I ended up looking after my stepdaughter for like 8 years straight, kind of thing. I don't think I could have done that without mentally kind of sculpting myself from that. At the same time, I will say, and this is kind of like a complimentary to my TikTok and why sometimes I'm kind of misunderstood or people don't really they see the spinner side of me and they don't see where it's coming from. But I will say, mentally, this shit has done so much trauma that I can't even fucking tell you. And I'm not saying I'm like the only one or I've been through that much. Really, as a scope of things, people people that have been in there, especially for longer or certain circumstances or some people what happens and all this kind of thing. The mental trauma and the trauma from jail is unlike anything I can explain to you.
Hmm.
Like literally for maybe 5 years of my life, it was like it wasn't fully dead yet. Every time I started watching any jail YouTubes or watching shit from like a movie or something that touched on jail or something like that, it was a big fucking trigger because I saw so many good people just so much fucking heartache and intensity and violence and it's just fucking hell.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm sure, like I've heard stories from other places. Canberra is definitely kind of more of like a mental thing. But
Mm.
what I've heard from other places is, yeah, these places are fucking hell. Like this shit's not. This isn't any kind of. Even though it works to some people, most people get lost in the system with drugs and shit like that because that's rampant as well. And it's not a solution at all. Like in my case, it saved my life, and even then, people don't think it's done too much or whatever. But overall, these places are traumatizing motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. And
this isn't solving a damn thing. Like this isn't like some kind of like, oh yeah,
but in your case,
it's gonna
in
make
your
you it's
case, it
gonna
made you
make you
healthier.
hate the world more.
Oh,
It's not
really?
gonna make you want to be like, oh, I want to be a part of society. It's gonna make you want to fucking harm society. That's my opinion.
Really? Wow. Because that's not what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's my opinion, and that's what most people think of. They're
Wow.
gonna go out there and fuck shit up worse, kind of thing, because of what they had to go through there. And anyone that judges them is gonna get fucking hellfire. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone comes
Wow.
out of jail and then someone's like, "Oh, you're this or you're that or blah blah blah," there's not gonna be a thought thing on like, "Oh yeah, they know me." There's gonna be like, "We'll show them what the fuck." You know what I mean? It's not right. Like it's traumatizing. That's all I can
Mm.
say. And again, I had a pretty decent experience overall. Real quick before we do go, I had Doom. By the end of it, I had a computer in my room with Doom. I had like four like sets of sneakers. I had under my fucking like 8 brand new packs of Megarang and everything on stack. By the end
Wow.
of it, had to
Yeah.
earn all that, but I had like jackets and fucking different, you know, like better pillows and shit. Just
Yeah.
little things, but I had like by the end of it, I was worked out. But some people, bro, they get left behind, and for the hard ones too, that are there for like longer and all this kind of shit, and the way people get treated, and the kind of paranoia of everyone and the violence that happens. And every single time we did sport, a lot of the time, maybe not volleyball, like volleyball brought us all together and shit, but for
Yeah.
sports like football and shit on the hot field, there would just be fight breakouts. And even over Christmas, there was like cell searching everyone and giving everyone a hell. And like all this shit builds up, and it's no lesson at all. Like, to be
Mm.
honest, like the only lesson is trauma. Like, you don't want to fucking end up going back, so you
Yeah.
have
You
to
don't want.
like kind of
So it's a
automate
deterrent.
someone and stay there for life. But other than that, it's gonna make you a vicious fucking animal that's gonna like have those tools to kind of wreak havoc on the public more, kind of thing. Well, that's my
Wow.
opinion, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what I see. It's like a perpetual cycle of fucking hell. It's
You
not
know.
somewhere where you learn a lesson like they think. Oh, because even with Spidey, bro,
Yeah.
someone like Spidey, man, he's kind of not 100% clear in the mind. He might actually turn into someone that might do something stupid. Like this place is not gonna make you feel like you're worth a damn thing.
Mm.
You pit up against people that you don't know, that don't have a fucking fear of their lives. Like you have to think with trauma instincts. It's fight or flight only.
Mm.
There's no like, oh yeah, I learnt my lesson. The only lesson is just move smarter or
Yeah. Yeah.
defend
Yeah.
yourself when you're about to eye day. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Well, it is a punishment at the end of the day, right? It's meant to be a deterrent. It's meant to be you are not going to
I
like
know,
this.
but dude, a
So
punishment would be kind of like, it'd be sensical.
right.
This is hell, bro. This is demoralizing hell, and this is perpetual hatred. This isn't
I
a punishment. This is
yeah.
fucking
I
putting
understand that.
people in the
Yeah.
gates of hell and then expecting them to learn something from that. The human nervous system can't cope with that, bro. You can't
Well,
cope with that. Like, trust me,
it
there's no one, anyone that's been to these places, lad. They respect each other just automatically because it's not
mm,
human decency at all, bro. Squatting, coughing, and
no, it
fucking
isn't.
all this shit that happens, bro. That's not a punishment. This is fucking violent authority over fucking, feel me? Because that's
Yeah.
the problem with these places. If there was a strict set of rules or whatever else, and everyone had a fair thing, if it wasn't up to the law of the land, maybe. But unless you're a savage or you have something in you, in my case, that you kind of weaponize my autism or my trauma, my past trauma, to kind of survive and kind of like make like really deep friendships and have respect and shit. If you
Mm,
can't do that, you're prey. There
mm.
is no learning nothing. You're gonna hate the world forever. You're gonna take your iFlow. You're gonna like end up
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
hardcore drugs. You're
Absolutely.
not gonna learn anything.
You can't be
You're gonna
weak in
learn
that.
that people are sick in the damn head and want to harm you. Like you're not gonna,
Yeah.
and there's no one to cry to and there's no one to yell to and shit like that. You're not gonna learn a damn thing. because like so many people that I was in with, bro, they're dead, lad. They're gone. They're gone, skis, bro. They didn't learn things besides the fucking drugs take the pain away, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
that's usually
how did they
the
die?
way it
What are you
goes for
saying?
people.
There's suicide?
Yeah, well, that too, bro. If they're not made for it, right? If they weren't
Yeah.
as lucky as me to have a kind of a hard upbringing, they're not gonna ever cope. That's not a lesson.
Mm.
Because I feel worse for the people that didn't have a bad upbringing, bro. The people that aren't from the houses, the people that aren't from that life. They got no hope, lad.
Yeah.
They got no hope besides snitching or some shit. Oh, hoping that, you feel me? They got no hope. If they're in the wrong yard or whatever, they're gonna get extorted. They're gonna get hurt. They're gonna get fucking. They say the wrong thing to the wrong person, bro. It's over. They're gonna get gutted, lad. Like it's not. And even then, even if they don't get hurt like that, it might be like mental abuse or this or that. They'll never recover from it. I watched one dude who's an MMA guy. He's about 19. He won a bunch of fights. He got turned out, lad.
Really?
Shaving his legs, cleaning everyone.
Wait, you broke
Fucking
out.
hit
You
the
broke
drugs,
out.
talking
Wait,
to himself.
wait.
Most people that
your internet broke out. Sorry. You said he shaved his legs and then what?
started cleaning everyone's room and got fucking turned into a bitch, lad.
But he
That
was
guy
an
never
MMA
recovered.
guy.
Yeah, and he never recovered, lad.
That
Yeah,
doesn't make
because
sense.
well, it does make sense because everyone's like, well, he's an MMA fighter. Let's aim
What do
at
you
him
mean?
then. He
He
wants
could
to.
fight. So if someone told him to do
Yeah, you
something,
dude.
couldn't he fight it?
Again, this is not fair rules, lad. You
Yeah.
think you can fight? It doesn't mean a damn thing. If people don't like you or they have a thing on you, bro, what you're gonna take on a whole yard talking behind your back, trying to do this, trying to do that. It doesn't matter if you can
You
fight.
can't do anything.
Sometimes it matters if you have heart and shit like that, and like it kind of helps that you can fight. It helps, but that's not the end of it, bro. Again, this is mental warfare, lad, and it depends where you are, but this is not about just being tough or just fighting or this is it's where you're from. So this guy was from a different kind of life. He's like half American and this and that, and he wasn't from the houses. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it kind of the social hierarchy kind of
So that
flips.
was worse.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're not from this life, bro, you're doomed.
Yeah,
That's what I'm kind
wow.
of saying. It's kind of separate for everyone. Like you have to kind of know. You have to have walked those streets before. Otherwise, if you're in with the same people as that, they will not respect you.
All right, so
They
you
will,
would say if
and
you're a
that's what makes
civilian,
it not a lesson to some people. Because I feel
yeah.
worse for these people that end up in those situations, bro. They don't have a damn chance. And people might say I'm a spinner, I'm this or that. Like I'm from a fucking rough place. Like I'm from rough places. I'm lucky for that. People call
So
me
you're
a
come
victim.
from
I'm
that
no
cloth.
victim, bro. Like that saved my life over and over again being from these places.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I hope the system changes. I hope that we don't end up like America and it just be a capitalist kind of situation because that's what it seems like, to be honest. But I personally hope that in the future, in general, that there's are countries that the like model seems better. It seems like it is a punishment rather than a fucking mind control program
Right.
or like Hunger Games. Because you don't learn anything from survival, bro. You just learn to adapt to it. You don't really. You might act like you do. You might like kind of act like you fucking learned your lesson or whatever, but deep inside of you, you have turned into a savage somewhere.
Wow.
There's something that's broken in you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
it's kind of more survival.
Well,
It's
let's
just
talk. Look,
survival, bro.
let's talk about it more. We're gonna do part 2.
One love, bro.
Yeah, thank you. All right,
Everyone,
Spew
check out Black
Kiss.
Swan. Check out Spew Kiss. I'm the
Yeah,
emo
guys,
essay king. I'll
it's
catch you
gonna
on the
be.
next one.
You have a YouTube channel, yeah?
No, not yet. I'm about to make one for Spew Kiss because I got a big video coming up real soon.
I'll tag you in it when it comes out.
Yeah,
All right,
but
thank you, Black Swan.
tag my TikTok and tag my Instagram, and if you can put my Spotify though. Yeah, Speakers is my artist name.
Yeah,
Everyone
send me
knows
the
me by
links. I'll
now
put
on
them in
TikTok.
right now.
Black Swan is my TikTok. Emo Essay King. You feel me?
Guys, thank you so much, Black Swan. I'm gonna stop recording now, guys.